Islam, Islam, Islam to all of my Moorish American Muslims and also to all of humanity that's watching right now. Thank you for tuning in to the Moorish Science Temple of America pod class Sunday School. So before I really get started, I would like to give a shout out to our sponsorship and the people who are making this happen. Islam, we got to give a shout out to them. So I give a shout out to the Roku television family, also Elevate the Family TV network, giving honors to the Uniting of Asia page as well. Islam. So Islam, everybody coming in. Islam. I seeing all these Islams. Praise Allah. Islam to you all. Islam to you all. So today, I want to talk about something that I don't think we realize that we do. And a lot of times we have the way that we act and the way that we move and the things that we see and say, and a lot of that we allow other people to dictate that. Did you ever notice that they dictate the way you act, right? But that's a punishment to yourself. That's a punishment. And the reason why I say this is because, I've seen and I've said some, let me know if you recognize some of these things that I'm about to say. Because I can almost guarantee you, all of you have said them. So, one of the things that I used to say is forget love. I don't want nothing to do with love. Oh, I'm not going to treat that person kind again. That person won't get my kindness. I'm not being kind to nobody. Ain't nobody gonna get a chance to treat me like that no more. I done loved you once. I'm not loving nobody else like I love that person. You ain't gonna hurt me no more. Forget being kind. Forget being nice. Forget love. And all of these things that were said was based on someone else. But in that, we fail to look at ourselves. We fail to look at ourselves when it comes to things like that. We fail to look at ourselves. We have to look at self. What did we not see? What did we miss? What part did we have to play in that so-called heartbreak that we just experienced? And it doesn't have to be heartbreak with a relationship, sort of monogamous relationship. It can be a friendship. It can be family. It can be anything. It can be job related. It can be anything. But what I am noticing is that humanity, we want to disregard the gifts that Allah has given us because another person has not learned to respect it. Another person has not learned to respect it. And yet we want to blame somebody else. But we fail to look at ourselves. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, it is important that we look at self at all times. This is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali wanted us to do, to know thyself and Allah. This is what we have to do. We have to concentrate less on what somebody else is doing and more about how we respond to it. So I want to give you examples of that. Islam, because again, we will be much better individuals once we learn that a lot of things that happen to us or occur in our lives, a lot of those things come from the people that we deal with. And a lot of times we see signs of different things and we choose to ignore them, or not necessarily ignore them, but say that if I'm this way or I'm that way, or if I do this or if I do that, that person will value me more. And I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters on this call, I'm here to tell you that nothing you could do, nothing you can do, okay? You can't give someone more of what they already don't appreciate because you are giving what you know to give. You are giving what you know to give, and that person is still not appreciating you the way you want them to. So you're going to turn around and give them more of that? It makes no sense. You want to turn around and give them more of what they already don't appreciate. That's not going to do it. That's not going to help. 9 times out of 10, that person will grow annoyed with your efforts, right? And thus that causes us to say, I'm not going to do that for another person again. I'm not going to be that way for another person again. And that's unfair to you because it is a power and a blessing to be kind. Alhamdulillah. It is a blessing. It is a blessing to be kind. It is a blessing to be good because good is of thy power. It is a blessing to be this way. This is some way that Allah has blessed us to be. He has been created us to be kind to each other, assisting each other. This is what he created us to be. And for us to stop being that way because someone else didn't appreciate what we were given, that is indeed a harm to Allah. That is a harm to him. That is a harm to Allah. We can't continue to harm Allah and like throw his gifts in his face because we failed to use them the way they were supposed to be utilized. We did that. It has nothing to do with the way Allah has blessed you to be. Am I making sense? Everybody understand? So, in that, let's get into some literature. Let's get into some literature because I want to further get into that because again, being who you are honors Allah. Being who you are indeed honors Allah. So let's get into some literature. We're going to go into chapter 8 of our Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam, and we're going to go to we're going to start at instruction 10, and we are going to end at 15. So instructions 10 of 15 of chapter 8. Let's go there. Just know before the actual meeting here, we do something called activating our Holy Quran, which that has already been done. And after this meeting, I will deactivate the Holy Quran for this session. Islam. So, because we are to open and close all meetings promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That is indeed a part of our divine constitution and bylaws Act 2. Islam, and that's how I opened the meeting. Islam. So instruction 10 says, but in their image man was made, and he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. But in their image man was made. And he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. When I look at you as humanity and my brothers and sisters, when I look at you, I am seeing the image of Allah. When you look at me, you should be seeing the image of Allah. And when man honors man, he honors Allah. And what man does for man, he does for Allah. And you must bear in mind that when man harms in thought or word or deed another man, he does a wrong to Allah. Wow. You've done a wrong to Allah when you harm man. And that I'm not going to do this to humanity. I'm not going to do that with humanity. I'm not going to be kind. I'm not going to be loving. I'm not going to be supportive. I'm not, because people don't deserve it and da 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 da. Okay. You can't look in the face of man and see the image of Allah if you're thinking like that. It says is here, when you harm, that's a harm to man. That is a harm to humanity. When you think like that, that's a harm to humanity. And if that is a harm to humanity, a harm to man, it is a harm to Allah. You are doing a disservice to Allah. You are taking the gifts that he has blessed you with and saying, you know what, I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to use them. So what good is you to have the power of being kind and being loving if you're not going to use it anymore? We have to learn to be more careful. We have to learn to be more insightful about the people we choose to have in our lives and about the people we see, about the people that interact with us on a daily basis. Because get this, if you are not paying attention to them, it's absolutely in your hands that you didn't see certain things. And a lot of times when we don't see certain things in people because we're looking at people only the way we can, and that is through our eyes. We see different people, and a lot of people call it falling in love with potential. That's the brief way to put it. A lot of people think that we're falling in love with potential, right? That we're doing something for someone else because of potential, right? So potential doesn't exist. This is an idea. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I had to go out and come back in. I'm so sorry, you all. I don't know. I can't see how many people are still in here, but I am going to continue with the lesson if there's anybody else in here. If you're still in here, please say Islam or here or just give me a sign. Okay, Islam. Did you, sister, did y'all when I went out, did I mean I don't know what happened, but anyway, um I'm going to, because now I'm seeing when somebody tries to call you, it just cuts you out. So I may want to start, I may try to do this more on my laptop. That way there will not be a disturbance. Um, I may start doing it that way. I'm going to see which way is going to work better. But again, we only see people as we can. and that is through our eyes and our viewpoint. And a lot of times that people, we have an ideal of how we want to treat people, right? But in some instances, that may not be right for them in their eyes. They may not want that type of treatment. Not to say the treatment is even bad, but the thing is that a lot of times we don't verbalize or communicate with other people about, our friendships, our relationships. We just go into things and kind of go with the flow, like. And that's what kind of ruins stuff when we just going with the flow. And then when certain things come up, then there's a problem. So what here it says, you must bear in mind and keep this in mind that when man harms in thought or word or deed another man, he does a wrong to Allah. You are doing a wrong to Allah, not a harm. Pardon self, because you can't possibly harm Allah, but you are doing a wrong to Allah. Islam, you're doing a wrong. And it says if you and the thing is that the way we are in character, the way Allah has created us, these are our gifts. These are our talents that are committed to our charge by Allah. We cannot do anything about them. We are blessed with them. They're not going anywhere. Because no matter how you try to, um, no matter how you try to just, kind of go over things and not say you're going to do this and not say you're going to do that, do you notice you end up doing it or saying it anyway? Because this is who you are. It's nothing that you can do about it. But when we put energy into not using our gifts and talents to serve humanity, that is a wrong to Allah, because we're not being ourselves anymore. We're trying to insert another part of our character that was not meant to be there. Islam. So it says, if you would serve the Allah who speaks within the heart, if you would serve him, just serve your near of kin and those that are no kin, the stranger at your gates, the foe who seeks to do you harm. That's the problem. That's the one right there. Now we can assist the poor. We can give charity to the stranger at our gates, assist those that are kin and no kin. But it's this part right here: the foe who seeks to do you harm. That is the part right there, brothers and sisters, that a lot of us have struggled with and still struggle with today. Because it's just like, why do I have to help him? And I know he seeks to do me harm. He's done or she's done harm to me. Why should I still seek to assist them? Because it's not about them. It's not about them. It's about you and serving Allah. Now, as nobody is saying that you have to, be friendly with them, that you have to welcome them back in your life in some type of way if you don't want them to, if you don't want them there, or you don't have to be another specific type of way that forces you to communicate and be friendly and things of that nature. No, that's not what this is saying, because a lot of people get that mixed up. It says if you are to serve Allah, and it's giving you the ways that you serve Allah. Because again, when you think about it, with all the wrong that we do to Allah every single day, and He still shows up for us, He still shows up for us. You going around talking about people that you don't like and what they did and what they didn't do and the sins they committed and blah, 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 blah. Not liking that person because of that. Well, you better be happy Allah still loves you after all the wrong you went and gave him, did to him by doing somebody else wrong. You wasn't serving Allah. You was serving yourself. We get selfish. Oh, we get selfish sometimes, y'all. We get selfish, downright selfish. And I know it's hard to assist somebody who has wronged you or somebody that seeks to do you harm. I know that's not easy. I've been in that position. But knowing that I do this for the sake of Allah and the sake of Allah alone, it has nothing to do with them. I continue to do it. And I try not to have enemies or to have people around me that I know don't like me, because I've done that before too as well. And I've seen how far that got me, believing in people, pulling them closer to me, knowing I had that little voice, that little intuition inside of me in the pit of my stomach saying, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. But I went against my discernment. A lot of times we do. We go against our discernment, and that's not what this is telling you either. Don't go against your discernment in something. However, we are still here to seek um, forgiveness from Allah constantly, and we are also here to serve Allah in service to our fellow man. So again, the foe who seeks to do you harm, that's a hard one, but it is doable. You have to remember it's not for that person. Don't think about, oh, they're gonna think they finessed me or nope, none of that. That's not what that's there for. Islam, we all have to assist each other sometimes, even if we have wronged somebody, we have done wrong to somebody. We even if uh serving Allah means that you are to forgive that person or to be forgiven. This is all service. This is all service to Allah and to Allah alone. Islam, assist the poor and help the weak. Do harm to none and covet not what is not yours. What does not belong to you, do not touch it. Do not touch it. Covet not what is not yours. We are not to do that, because Allah gives us our fair share of everything. And that's not love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice either. We all have our fair share of everything. Allah gives us our fair share of everything. Sometimes it may not look like a fair share, but Allah knows what is best for us. God knows what is best for us. Because for some of us, if He give us too much, we're going to ruin it. He gives us just enough so we can figure out the next steps, so we can go forward and continue with the next steps of serving Him and Him alone. And the last instruction of this chapter: then with your tongue, the Holy One will speak, and He will smile behind your tears, will light your countenance with joy, and fill your hearts with peace. When we do what Allah has told us to do, this is what we get. He smiles behind our tears, because we do things sometimes we know we don't want to do, but we have to do them. We do things, so many things that are hard. Sometimes we can't even complete the things we have to do because of hardship. Hardship is anything that stops you from completing a task, completing a job, paying your bills, being yourself. We experience hardships in life, and Allah sees us. And at the end of the day, Allah wants ease for all of us. However, sometimes we gotta go through these things. We say certain prayers to Allah. Allah, make me strong. Allah, make me wise. Um, Allah, make me disciplined. We pray for these things, but you have to go through something to even to know how to be disciplined, how to be wise, how to be strong. Allah gives us situations that make these things so once we complete them. So when you ask for something and it seems like God has given you a most difficult trial or a most difficult job, do your best, because Allah wants ease for us. And if you do your best sincerely within your heart, He will meet you where you are. He will meet you where you are, and He will help you. God will surely help you. But you got to be in this sincere now. You got to, this is why the nearest place we can meet Allah is in our heart. And this is also why you cannot know God if you don't know yourself. Because again, in order to for me to see Allah in you, I have to see Allah in me first. I have to see the Allah in me first. I can't see it in nobody else if I don't see it in me. Because if I don't see it in me first, every person who has done me wrong in a certain way, or not every person, but one person who has done me wrong in a certain way, or a harm against me, a misdeed against me, or said something bad about me, I will think everybody is the same way if I don't know myself, if I don't know my higher self and my lower self. If I don't know these things and study myself daily all the time, I will think everybody is the same. Somebody's going to be out to get me. That's how I would feel because I'm not doing my part in serving Allah. Because in order for us to truly serve Allah, we must always turn within to have our meetings. Morris, make your meetings. The first meeting you should always make every day, and no matter what time of day you make it, is make your meetings with Allah. Your meetings don't start with Holy Quran class. It does not start with Sunday school. It does not start with the Sisters Auxiliary meeting. It does not start with Holy Day. The first meeting you should always be having is going within the heart. Going within the heart, truly turning to the east and meeting Allah there. That's where you should be. This is what we should be doing every day. However you choose to do it, because your personal walk with Allah is yours. I can't tell you how to pray. I can't tell you what to say because I'm not in your heart. Allah is. Allah is there. Allah is in your heart, honey. So you will only receive that guidance and that love when you love yourself and know that Allah is within you. And you can't fail when Allah is within you. You can't truly fail. Islam, there's no failing with Allah because guess what? Allah is leading on and victory is assured. It is truly assured. So when you remember that and just know whatever you're going through is prescribed for you, it's for you. Because you have different ways and different things you must do for Allah, but you have to be ready. When you come into the Moorish Science Temple of America, any particular organized religion, you have to know that there is work to be done. And you are indeed asking Allah to be a part of that, to make you a part of that work. You are asking Allah to indeed deem you worthy to work for Him for the sake of Him alone. This is what you're asking. So you can't forget Allah when things get tough. That's the time you got to go to Allah. You can't blame Allah when things get tough. That is the time you go back to Allah. We're not going to have all the answers, but Allah does. And He will show you those answers. He will show you the way, but you got to be open to it. You got to open your heart to it. You got to open your mind to it. You got to open your ears to it. You got to open your eyes to it. You got to open your spirit to it. You got to open your mouth to it. Do you get it? You have to open yourself to receive the power of Allah. And He sent us our prophets to show us, to be examples, to show us the way, because man cannot identify love in its purest form. He can't see it. We're on the plane of things made manifest. We don't see love in its purest form. So that's why we come to Allah in ceremonies and forms to show our love for Him. Because that's the way we know how to do it. Islam. And this is Ramadan season. This is Ramadan season. So, in this Ramadan season, I really do hope that a lot of people, this is the time to really go within yourself. Because I know a lot of people struggle with even the fasting part of Ramadan. But I'm not saying don't focus on the fasting, but what I am saying is really get to know your heart and mind. Really get to know Allah by reading about Allah, knowing yourself. Because you do have to, most of it, for the most part, your mind has to be together. Ramadan is not easy. For some of us, it is not easy. Certain things will transpire in Ramadan. You will have great blessings and you will also have great lessons during the time of Ramadan. And if those of you who are celebrating and are participating in Ramadan, oh, alhamdulillah for you all, for even making a effort to do so. Because again, Allah wants ease for us. Your efforts count if they are sincere, but don't play with it. If your efforts are indeed sincere, Allah appreciates you. And in the Quran of Muhammad, 183, that's where it starts, the rules and practices of Ramadan starts there. So if you have a Holy Quran of Mecca, or if you want to look it up on the internet, it's the Holy Quran, and it's chapter 2, rather, and ayat 183. That's where it starts. 183. Okay. So, and then also in that, when we're talking about, just being us, doing our service to Allah, Ramadan is our service as well. It is prescribed for us. So Moors, I would like for you all, if you can, please stop discouraging other Moors for participating in Ramadan. It is prescribed for all people. I know Christians who are participating in Ramadan and have been for years. It is prescribed for all of us, not just Muslims, not just Muslims. It is prescribed for all of us. Those of you who are present in this month, Allah says you should participate. It's required for you to participate in Ramadan. And it gives you the ways to participate in Ramadan. It gives you ways to remedy when you can't complete a day of Ramadan. It tells you what to do. The instructions are there, but please stop telling people, especially other Moors, to stop participating in Ramadan or don't participate in Ramadan. If you yourself, as a Muslim, don't feel you have to participate in Ramadan, that's something that you have to deal with yourself and Allah, because He prescribed it, He commanded it, He required it. So it's not on anybody. It's not on anybody to discourage one for doing something that is good for them. It is good for you if you but knew. This is what Allah says. It is good for you if you but knew. Islam. So don't discourage somebody from participating in Ramadan. This is good. It's the fasting helps with your health. It helps with clearing your mind. It helps with your energy. It helps you build more empathy and more love for community. It helps you get to know yourself and know Allah. It helps. So don't discourage anybody from doing that. Don't discourage somebody that's trying to do better for themselves. And with sincerity, they are trying to do better for themselves. They want to serve Allah. Don't discourage them from doing that. That is a sin because we are to keep the laws. We are to keep the laws of Allah, and Ramadan is one of them. We are not to disregard that. Please stop telling people to not better themselves. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're telling somebody to not better themselves. If you don't believe in it, if you don't want to do it, or you feel you don't have to do it, don't discourage somebody else's journey. This is theirs, their walk with Allah, their walk with the prophets. Don't discourage that. Don't discourage somebody from becoming better. It is good for them. It is good. It does good for us in all type of ways, mind, body, and spirit. It does us very good. Islam. So now that we got that out the way, I just had to say that because it was on my heart to say that because I see it too much. I see people discouraging people from participating in Ramadan and other fasts, and it's just not right. It's just not right at all. We have to stop being like that. We have to really, and that's a sign of a person who doesn't know themselves. That's a sign of a person that also that does not know Allah, doesn't know God. Because how do you make it come out your mouth to tell someone not to practice Ramadan? That is absolutely ludicrous to me. And I could never ever, and it's just so ashamed that you don't know Allah, that you choose. That's a disservice. Now remember, we just read about Allah, and if we are to serve Allah, what are we to do? I just read it. If we are to serve Allah, if you would serve Allah who speaks within the heart, just serve your near of kin and those that are no kin. The stranger at your gates, the foe that seeks to do you harm, assist the poor, the help the weak. Do harm to none. Do harm to none. I'm gonna move on. For some reason, my phone is a hotline today, but I am back. I'm glad y'all still with me. So we're gonna move on from that. And I also want to go to a chapter that I don't go into so much in the Holy Quran of Mecca, called the Taha. And so I want to go into something. I want to go into, when I said that Allah wants ease for us, right? I really do mean that. Allah truly wants ease for all of us. He really and truly does. And and he qualifies us according to what he needs us to do. And it doesn't matter if you don't feel that you're good enough, because Allah feels that you are good enough. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. In the Taha, it talks about Moses. In the Taha, it talks about Moses. And if I'm not mistaken, it also talks about Adam as well. So, talks about young Moses, right? So, I'm just going to I'm going to start at two signs of Moses, and that's the Taha 20. It's the 20th chapter in the Holy Quran of Mecca. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is one of the Holy Qurans that I have. Okay, this is one of the Holy Qurans that I have, and this is the English only version. Okay, this is the English only version. And I have several Holy Qurans of Mecca. My oldest Holy Quran of Mecca is from 1930. It's old. It's very old. So and I like reading out of that one as well. And it's very thick, that Holy Quran. I like reading from that. So, so from Taha, which is the 20th chapter, the 20th surah, and I'm going to start at 17, ayat 17. And it's called the two signs of Moses. God added, and what is that in your right hand, O Moses? So if you all know the story of Moses, he carried something in his right hand, right? He replied, it is my staff. I lean on it, and with it I beat down branches for my sleep and have other uses for it. So, and let's see what it says about that. So it has little footnotes where you can go and find the different meanings of certain things. So let's see. In 582, and it says, this is where it's going to tell you why Moses uses that, right? So let's go to footnote 582. And it says, Moses could have just said a staff, but volunteered to talk about the uses of the staff, adding that there are many uses he has not mentioned, with the hope of God would ask him about it more. The reason is that Moses wanted to prolong the conversation with God as much as he could. Wow, that's something special. Moses could have just said, it's my staff and I needed to walk. But he didn't. He continued the conversation in such a way that he wanted to talk to God more. He extended the conversation. Isn't that's beautiful? Have you ever been in a position where you just wanted to talk to God and just sit and talk to him a long time? Just sit and talk and explain what you're going through and listen for his feedback, hear his feedback. Islam, this is what Moses did. This is what Moses, he was a true believer in God. True believer. Islam. And God said, throw it down, Moses. So he did. Then behold, it became a serpent slithering, right? It became a serpent slithering. We're going to get back to that. And God said, take it and have no fear. We will return, we will return it to its formal state, and put your hand under your armpit. It will come out shining white and unblemished. So in this part, it explains this part. Moses was dark skinned, was asked to put his hand under his armpit. When he took it out of it, when he took it out, it was shining white, but not out of a skin condition like melanoma. So what was it? What was it? Because I've heard that some people say that Moses had something like a melanoma, or what is the other one, that the disease that Michael Jackson had, vitiligo. Vitiligo. But this is explaining different. Islam. And that was his sign. And the reason why God did that, that was his sign to Moses, letting him know, giving him proof that he will return his staff back. He will return his staff back to its original form, but he turned it into a snake. This is just a display of power to see how we lean on things. We lean on things and use those things as we all often say, as a crutch. He needed his staff for different things, and that's why God said, throw it down. You would need that no more. Let's continue. As another sign, so that we may show you some of our greatest signs, go to Pharaoh, for he has truly transgressed all bounds. And this is Moses' prayer. Now remember, when I said earlier, Allah wants ease for us. And listen to what Moses is just, he had a simple prayer, a very Islam pardon self, Moses had a very simple prayer. And that prayer was, Moses prayed, "My Lord, uplift my heart for me." Mm. He said, "My Lord, uplift my heart for me and make my task easy." Because remember, Moses has just had his staff taken from him. So now, even though Allah has showed him the wonders, even though he showed it to him, and said that he will return it to his form. So now he's looking at this snake and it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? I told you I needed my staff, correct? So in saying that and knowing that, he said, you know what? Let me pray. He said, let me pray. And he said, Moses prayed, "My Lord, uplift my heart for me." Basically, help me to believe. Help me to believe, right? And make my task easy and remove the impediment from my tongue. Okay, so this part, when Moses was smaller, when he was younger, he put it was like a fire staff to his mouth. And if I'm not mistaken, like a fire staff is like a branding tool. And he put it towards his mouth that, caused injury to his mouth and then caused him to have a speech impediment. So this is why he's asking this, okay? He said, and remove the impediment from my tongue so people may understand my speech, and grant me a helper from my family. Aaron, my brother, strengthen me through him, and let him share my task, so that we may glorify you much and remember you much. For truly you have always been overseeing us. And God responded, all that you requested has been granted, O Moses. Because Moses was asking for things to further strengthen him and magnify the Lord, magnify God. He wasn't praying for these things for himself. He was, but it was all to magnify and remember Allah in all things. When you truly come to serve God, this is what you do. When you pray for God to use you, you pray for things that will help you to magnify him. Because as I said at the beginning, Allah chooses who he may. He appoints who he may. He could have got somebody that could walk without assistance. Allah could have gotten somebody, anointed somebody that can speak clearly and people will understand what he's saying. He could have appointed somebody that may not needed any type of help. He could have appointed somebody like that. But look what he did with young Moses. Look what he did with young Moses. Young Moses said, uplift my heart for me. Give me the courage. Allow me to move in love. Uplift me. Raise me up so that I may be, my way will be made for me, right? Uplift me and make my task easy. If you don't have a prayer to pray and you are going through something in your life right now, may this Ramadan season and every day, especially in this Ramadan season, may you heal from that. May you find the strength to heal from things you are fighting and don't talk about, can't talk about, refuse to talk about. Just like Moses turned to Allah and he wanted to talk to him so bad and he wanted to talk to him more, that he made his conversation with Allah to warrant that, to warrant more things from Allah. And Allah told him what he was going to do. Allah told him what he was doing. He said, look, I'm going to make your staff this snake and it's going to slither and you see it slither and you see it doing all these other things. But still, Even though Moses had faith in Allah, he prayed to Allah so that he would do the best to serve him. And he asked for things that will allow him to serve him. That's all we got to do. If you don't have a prayer to pray, look at this prayer. Look at this prayer in the Taha of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Look at this prayer. It is perfect. When you have something to do and you don't know how you're going to do it, just ask Allah for the tools and make sure you magnify him. Make sure you remember him and reference him. And these things, when you pray to Allah, please let Allah know that these things I ask for me to serve you. Not only so I can remember you, so I can be a mirror that others will remember you too through the works that I do for you. Islam, everything that we do should be to magnify Allah. Everything that we do should be to magnify Allah. To learn to go within and talk to Allah, just as Moses did. Moses did that. No matter what condition he was in, he didn't tell Allah, no, I'm not good enough. Even though he might have felt that in his heart, like, why did he choose me? Why did he choose me? I want to serve God, but I have these things going on. I have these ailments. I can't speak properly. I can't walk properly. I need assistance. I don't know if I can do it alone, but Allah, if you give me a helpmate and strengthen me through him. Islam, strengthen me through him. That's something powerful, because sometimes we do have to become that strength for each other. We have to, because sometimes we're not able. And we have to have that helping hand. We have to have, and I'm going to show you where it says that in our Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America. We're going to go 2 chapters over from chapter 8. We're going to go to chapter 10. And what chapter 10 says, and this is, I want to say, okay, 25, instruction 25. Chapter 10, instruction 25. And this chapter is called Jesus Spake on the Unity of Allah and Man to the Hindus. He was talking to the Hindus. So, and it says on instruction 25, just give your life in sacrificial service to all of life, and Allah is pleased. Just give your life in sacrificial service to all of life. All of life. And Allah is pleased. So when we're doing this is the same thing that Moses is talking about. He says, Lord, I want to do your bidding. I want to be what you need me to be. But these are the things that I need to do so. Don't be afraid to ask Allah for the things you need to do so to serve him. Don't be afraid to ask Allah. Because Moses wasn't. Moses wasn't afraid. Even after Allah has shown him the signs that he will do what he has promised, Moses still prayed to him. Moses prayed to him and said, my Lord, first calling upon him, my Lord, uplift my heart. Because it was still kind of heavy. Because to say, Lord, uplift my heart, it also says to me that there may be some doubt there. And it's natural for us to have doubt, because doubt does come from our own raising. Nobody can give us or make us doubtful but us. And for the reasons that we may be doubtful may all be valid. However, you have a ever-present help in Allah. You have an ever-present help in Allah, and know that. And when you feel that you need that uplifting, like young Moses did, he said, Lord, my Lord, my Lord, You see how he did that? My Lord. Because he is yours and he is mine, and we can call upon him. We don't need no intercession from anybody. And that's another thing that it says in chapter 10. It says 22, instruction 22 of the Moorish Science, Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Chapter 10, instruction 22 says, when man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. He goes straight up to him and says, my Father God, Allah. And then he lays his hand in Allah's own hand, and all is well. That is the same thing that Moses did. He didn't tell a priest. He didn't tell his brother. He didn't tell or call upon anybody else to speak to Allah for him, to be a representation of him to Allah. No, he knows Allah. He has a personal relationship with Allah. He went up to his Father God, Allah, and said, my Lord, mine, my Lord, uplift my heart for me. Uplift my heart for me. It was heavy for him. Uplift my heart for me and make my task easy. And remove. Now you notice when Moses is praying, he's being very straightforward with Allah. He's not begging. He's telling Allah, these are the things that I need from you right now. These are the things that I need from you right now. Because I know you have assigned me with a task, but I want you to make my task easy. In order for me to have this task and make it easy, these are the things that I need. Are y'all getting that? Is it becoming clearer to you now in a form of prayer? Because you have no reason to beg Allah. You have no reason to beg him. You have no reason to beg him. Say with love what you need from him. What you need from Allah to better serve him. And I can guarantee it is yours. As long as you are doing what you need to do to serve Allah, it is yours. With no hesitation, Allah granted Moses everything that he said that he needed. Let's read it again before we go out. And make my task easy and remove the impediment from my tongue so people may understand my speech. I want people to hear me. I want people to be clear what I say about you. I want them to hear me clearly. I want them to have no mistake about what I'm saying. So Allah, please remove this impediment from my tongue so people may understand me, understand my speech, and grant me a helper from my family. I want somebody I can trust, God. Islam. He said, I want somebody I can trust, God. I want somebody I can trust. So Aaron, he suggested his brother. Aaron, my brother, strengthen me through him because we're gonna need that assistance. He's gonna need to be strong for me when I'm not that strong. Because I want to make sure that the message is delivered. Islam, praise Allah indeed. So with that, that is our Sunday School pod class for today. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And once again, shout out to Elevate the Family Television Network, Roku, Uniting of Asia Group, and of course, the Uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple 17, and all officials and staffs of our group. So, with that being said, I enjoyed you all and thank you for coming. Peace and love. And indeed, always find a way to carry on bravely because you can do it. Be brave and be in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam.